Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 3 in the first best of 3 in the grand finals of the Alienware Awesome Cup. We have come a long way to get to this point. Boom has been fighting all day to get to this point. 99cents fought a long way to get to this point. Everybody's been here for a long time waiting for this Game 3.
Yeah, if they weren't playing, they were waiting.
Exactly. Yeah. And now we've got game point. 99cents, if they win this, they take home first place in the Alienware Awesome Cup.
Yep.
If they lose, they're going to have to go and fight through another best of 3 with Boom in order to try to cement their first. If not, Boom, also has that option as well. If they manage to win here, they can actually get that first.
And we do have the draft ready to go, so we're going to bring that up here for you guys in just a sec. But, this is Boom's basic. This is their chance. If they get this, it's a reset. If they don't, they go home with $900 in their pocket. It's hardly a terrible second place, but it's going to be up to them to take down the Titans that is known as less than $1.
So, as expected, we see a Swiggins and a Clunk band coming out of 99cents. They do not want to have Boom to have those two knots. They know that Boom's good with them, so they're going to take him out. Boom, going to ban out Penny and Scoldier because they know that Penny is really good with Nikki and that Whoopi can play a mean Scoldier. The picks ended up being Froggy and Coco and Scoop for 99cents, something that they just played last game. Boom, going for Scoop, Vinny, and then the difference from last game, a Frog of their own. So, we know how these two lineups are going to work out. 99cents going for the same kind of slow, methodical, poking kind of build with Nikki there to go ahead and capitalize on any errors that the other team makes. Boom, going for something very similar, except for instead of a Coco, they're going for a Vinny. So they're going to have a much more aggressive type of lineup. They're aiming to go for the hammer dash dash combo. Will they be able to bring it up in this game is the question. Will they be able to bring this to a brand new best of 3, or will 99cents clinch it right here, right now, and be declared your champions?
Now, here's the cherry on top. We're going back to Aguilon.
You got to be kidding me. All right, well, Aguilon it is. Here we have it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Ghosts and Ghouls, 99cents versus Boom on Aguilon. Game 3 in this first best of 3. 99cents wins this. They take home the cup. If Boom wins this, then there's going to be another best of 3 to determine who truly is the owner of the Awesome Cup. Whoopi already putting out his hammers at the beginning here. Toilet Humor going to be your Coco. Whoopi going to be your Scoop. And then finally Nikki playing your Frog as per the usual. On the other side, you got Paolo playing your Scoop. You got Kaio playing your Vinny. And finally Blah playing his Frog for the first time in a couple of games at least.
Well, his Coco fell a little flat last game. We're going to have to see if this one roster change is going to be changing the way that this is going to go down. But, hey, 5 of 6 picks going to remain the same from game number 2. And we're back to even the same map. This was Boom's choice. They came back here willingly.
And I think that they felt confident and that they only made a couple of mistakes in the last game. And I think that's a fairly accurate assessment. But I think that had a lot to do with the itemization. The Coco pickup being far more valuable on Toilet Humor with the long-range poke. Out comes the bindings. Nikki going in for a dash. It's not going to end up hitting anybody other than Kaio. Now Blah going a bit low as well. This is already looking like it's slightly in favor of Team 99cents. They've got a lot more solar. They got Piggy Bank being picked up on the Scoop. Now Nikki taking some damage from Blah. Whoopi going to take some damage as well. About the same as Paolo. But Paolo now stuck behind left click and Blaze and hammers and dead. Now that's going to be your first blood less than 2 minutes into this game. A much quicker paced game than last time for 99cents. And now so begins the slow and methodical push into the blue base. The question becomes, can the blue team, can Boom actually wrest a little bit of control? Can they grab a small advantage out of this red team? And with the lineup that they've got, that might be a bit difficult. Kaio, a very easy hit target and very vulnerable to Blaze, as well as Paolo. Same sort of problems. Blah, not the exact same sort of problems. He's definitely able to get out of a sticky situation, but his other two teammates very vulnerable to Toilet Humor. So we'll see what ends up happening here, but things already looking good for 99cents going into this game.
Yep, coming back to the map that they just won on. Sure, it was a long and arduous process, but a win is a win by an inch or a mile. And coming back in with a first blood already on the board, they got to be feeling really good about this one, especially knowing that if they can do a repeat performance, that's going to be it. That will be the tournament, and they will be crowned the victors. So once again, you see Whoopi. He's sticking right here to the front lines. He's throwing out hammers left, right, and center. Tower damage is coming up a lot quicker than it was because of that first blood already. But, death by a million hammers. That's still going to be what Whoopi's going for here early. And already with the piggy bank into the Twisted Lance, we see the mirror coming out here from Paulo just like before.
On another note, though, Blah slightly edging out ahead in terms of abilities. He now has the Mutant Ninja Worms. We'll see whether or not he can put that to good use in a gank or some form of damage. Paolo now going for the flank onto Nikki. Nikki taking a lot of damage. Out comes the dash, out comes the bubbles, but Nikki will end up being just fine. The invisible being picked up by Whoopi. He's going to use to put out that hammer on a Blah. The binding's going to end up hitting him. And that's still going to be, right now, still things looking good for 99 cents. They're pushing into that top turret. Less than 4 minutes into this game. That thing's taken about a third of its life in damage. Hammer Pants being bought out by Nikki instead of that Mutant Ninja Worm. To see how that pick changes up the game.
And once again, I'm looking again at Kaio, and he has the Solar Crab Cloud once more. I might have ventured to guess that he'd go a little bit more aggressive, but the farming game didn't work from game 1. We'll have to see if he can change his tactics a bit for game 2. But if he does not start topping that solar meter, then I think we are going to have this bigger problem for early game.
I'm inclined to agree with you with the whole burst idea. I would think that Kaio would think a little bit more like Bad Joe in this situation. Maybe go for that damage instead.
The Bad Joe factor.
The Bad Joe factor not being a factor in this game.
Or the last series either.
Yeah, exactly. But all things considered, though, that dash damage on top of the hammer and the other dash might have been a more important factor here than going for Solar Cloud. Trying to go for kills, trying to go for that aggression, trying to beat 99 cents out in these fights. But 99 cents is going to play that nice little slow passive game, and then you've got the same game being played by the blue team now. 99 cents is the king of that kind of gameplay, though, and we'll see if they can continue to keep that crown of theirs or not. I am reasoning a bet that they will.
Whoopi with the clutch binding there at the end does return a good amount of health, and the rest of the team did collapse and deter any kind of big chase. So we're still looking for the first blood from Boom, but the only kill still on the board is the one of 99 cent on top of who actually died? Scoop. Yeah, it was the collapse on top of Scoop a little bit early. So, again, very similar gameplay to game number 2 in this series, but a little bit more aggression now that we got Blah as a frog instead of that Coco, and you can see the hit points. It's going to get low here for Toilet Humor, but it's actually going to reach 0 for the Blah, who actually started off that fight. Kaio, that was a bad idea, bro. 99 cent Nikki is putting you down for less than $1.
Well, that's going to be a really nice start out for these guys. That's another chunk of solar in their pocket. They're now ahead by a great deal more than they were in the last game, where the blue team was keeping up before. Now they're behind by about 150 solar at least apiece, and that's not good at all. That's not something that they should ever have accepted as a terms of use. Nikki taking a lot of damage. That NATO almost enough to get him a kill, but Nikki just barely going to survive. Toilet Humor quite low as well, but that's something that 99 cents is used to. They can get low, but they don't end up dying. Whoopi taking a lot of damage. In comes a lot of left clicking, but it's not going to end up being a kill. Now the blue team aiming to try to jockey for a little bit more positioning here. Boots coming out on the Vinny, Boots coming out on the Coco. We got damage being picked up and cooldown being picked up by Whoopi now. Things, again, looking very good for 99 cents. They've broken the 1,000 solar barrier on Nikki already. He's sitting on 36 creep kills. He's doing well for himself. Toilet Humor low, Whoopi low, and they're chasing Paolo. Paolo going to get lightning balls right into his turret. Nikki not going to end up getting the kill, but the hammer going to come out onto Blah, and that'll dissuade any push or gank happening onto Nikki. Now, Whoopi going to grab both of those creeps. Wow. Sorry, sir, those are mine, he says as he grabs it with his hammer. Now the top turret taking a bit more damage.
Yeah, the top turret down to 3 bars, much quicker than last time. We had a first blood at the 12-minute mark, but this time 3-0, 99 cent, bringing again that early game pain. And Kaio, he's going to start putting up some cash, but once again, Paolo is beating him out despite the fact we have a solar cloud on the table. This is just not a map for it as we see the frog get collapsed upon. That was nearly a double on top of Toilet, but at the same time we do lose out that top turret, so it's a little bit even on the cash gains, but towers do not respond.
Towers not only don't respond, but they offer another avenue into that jungle for the red team. True. That offers a lot more options in terms of aggression, and Nikki, of course, will go ahead and abuse that if at all possible. Now, a second piggy bank being picked up by Toilet Humor. They are going to try to cement that early game if at all possible.
It's four piggy banks across the board.
So far, yep, that's going to be another piggy bank there. We've got Nikki picking one up as well. So that's 3 piggy banks for 99 cents. They have now got the lead. They have invested in keeping it with that piggy bank pickup. We've only got 1 piggy bank coming out of the blue team. Now, can the blue team repeal that investment? Can they make that a bad one for 99 cents is the question. And right now, it does not look to be the case. Blue team struggling to maintain any modicum of equality with the red team.
Now it is 3-1, but we do finally got the point on the board here from Boom. In terms of the solar between them, since we talk about it a lot, 3-2 and about 1, so 600 or so. Not the biggest of deals. It's on average about 2 items, though. No, I'm closer to 3.
It's certainly very close, and out comes the Invis. Paolo taking a lot of damage. Not going to get hit by those bindings. Whoopi will get hit by a hammer on the backside of that.
It is actually 3
Blah,
items right
maybe
now.
Going down. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to end up dodging that hammer. Toilet Humor going to eat a hammer to the face. Paolo very low. Kaio's going to have to cloud out and get the heck out of dodge. But you've got already that solar, that solar coming into play there. Blah almost ended up dying.
Nearly. Skin of his teeth, but he is a slippery frog. He's very mobile, has a high jump, can definitely do some very interesting dodging mechanics. Nikki gets in, he gets out, virtually untouched, but didn't actually land any of that. So if it did, it was on Paolo, and he was able to bindings it back immediately. So more pressure going into the bottom lane here from 99 cents, but 1 tower down. They're not really going super push. They are just, once again, sticking to their strengths of slow, easy, and methodical.
And that's the name of the game. 99 cents knows that that 1 cent probably counts a lot. We're going to make sure not to waste any amount of time. They are constantly farming. They are constantly going for little advantages here and there. Blue Scoop opting out of the cooldown, this time going for a quality assurance on the hammer. Now has the snare duration increase upgrade. So that could potentially be a very game-changing upgrade and a difference between the 2 scoops. But right now, that jungle area also, like with that top tower down, that jungle area is now very vulnerable. Out comes the dash. The nade of Whoopi taking a lot of it, but the Blaze going to end up saving him for now. The dash out of Kaio not going to be enough. Kaio now has to run for his life. The lightning ball not going to be enough to get the pick off, and Whoopi going to have to back off as well. So a very equal exchange of life points, really. But red team going to really pick it up since they have access to their jungle, and honestly, the blue team no longer in control of their side of the map, really, as Nikki picks up those 2 creeps.
Yep. And that would have actually been a kill on top of Whoopi had the dash from Kaio actually landed. It came up just short. Otherwise, would have been a great collapse on top of Whoopi. Would have put another point on the board here for Boom. And now even in this exchange, I mean, the confidence is it's very different. These last 2 games have been a very different Boom team compared to the last, 6, 7 that we just casted. It almost feels like, the concentration factor has started to, wane. The mechanical skills coming out just a little less than perfect. And, honestly, the mindset coming out, anybody would be a little bit off their rocker just coming up into 99 cents, let alone have to play a best of 3 against them for cash in an Alienware Alpha.
Yeah, absolutely. Kaio going to go down to the Blaze damage coming out of 99 cents. Now their lead is getting to a point where 99 cents has not yet lost when they have something like this. Boom, like you mentioned, they're not playing the same way that they used to. And the biggest difference here is the aggression coming out of the team. They're playing so much safer than they used to. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, playing safe like that, although advisable in a situation where you're ahead, when you're behind, it's difficult to get out of the mindset where safe is a good thing. You need to take those risky plays. You need to go for things that add variability to a game. They might not win you the game, but they will sure as heck do a better job than you just sitting there slowly falling behind a team that is like just gripping onto their advantage and holding on to it like a spoiled child with a toy that they want to keep. It's certainly a very difficult game to win if you just aren't trying to add a little bit of spice to the game. Right now, 99 cents liking to keep it vanilla, and you got Boom, who just is trying to do the exact same game. They're just behind, and if you're going to do the exact same thing and you're behind, you're not going to end up doing as well as you'd like.
Well, they didn't win last time and they were behind, so chances of winning from behind this time, well, we got a little bit of a history here. Good dash out there from Nikki. It's actually going to stop any kind of bigger kill strokes on top of him. Kaio's actually going to be able to eke himself out of that one as well. Floats away on his pufferfish, and bottom turret is down. Top is now going to be the big target. Whoopi actually going to come down into the bottom with the help of Nikki and Toilet Humor, and they, again, just clean up some of these creeps. They are going to be off controlling this center, and they've had control of it virtually the entire game. Invises are coming out. We've seen Invis Frogs getting kills, and again, I maintain my top two, Invis Clunk, Invis Frog, for damage factors.
Invis Scoldier, also a very frightening thing, but we're not going to see that in this case. Scoldier was obviously quite banned out. And then
banned twice now.
Yeah, banned twice. Swiggins now banned twice. Clunk now banned twice. And the Frog, by comparison, not banned out. The Penny was replaced instead. And I don't know what would be worse at this point, Nikki Frog or Nikki Penny. I'm pretty sure that both of them are terrible options. So a bit of a rock and a hard place to ban either one of those. But if you're going to give one team one, you better be prepared to deal with it. And right now, Nikki's Frog starting to go off the hook. Max damage dash, very typical of him. He's also going to pick up the Mutant Ninja Worm upgrade and one rank in Turbo Type as NATO now no longer so slow as it once was. His Mutant Ninja Worm also going to add a lot of burst. Out comes the hammer. The bindings. It's going to be a thing. Nikki going to dash through it, not take that damage. Now, left clicks being a thing. The NATO going to also result in a little bit of damage. Block going to go down. Nikki going to get out of there as fast as he can. Toilet Humor maybe looking to put out a ball if at all possible, but nope, goes upstairs and farms instead. That's going to be your 5th kill of the game for 99 cents. 1 kill in return out of Team Boom. Boom just not able to get any kill or anything onto Nikki, despite the fact that he keeps getting so low.
And he does. And that's one of the big things on Frog. Mobility, hard to kill, the invulnerability frame. You can get shields on the NATOs. You can get some really interesting combos. And then if the cooldowns are up as well, it's just, I mean, he can turn it around. He might have a sliver of health, but he can one global combo you at later points in the game. So, yeah, we're going to keep investing in top of Nikki because Nikki's always the guy on the front. He's always dashing in. He's looking for these kills. He gets off that stun. And it's going to be a big collapse. You know, Toilet Humor with the ball damage, it's definitely there. He also has the 3 ranks on Chuck's board, so he gets nice and close. And, well, you're going to get wrapped up. You're going to have a heck of a damage sandwich. Whoopi, of course, you know, with the big hammer damage out there as well. These snipe hammers have come out big. They've also been a big factor in taking down a lot of these turrets.
Every once in a while, like you said, it's a death by 1,000 hammers, and Whoopi does go in. He does land them. He does have a max damage on a low cooldown hammer. He can just spam them. He doesn't really care when he uses them. He just as long as he uses them. And that's the best use of his time. Whoopi going to take a bit of a dash there. Kaio now sporting an almost max damage dash. He's missing the bag full of goldfish. He has silence on the cloud instead. You're missing 1 damage upgrade on Scoop before you get that max damage there. He's actually not that far behind his compatriot on the other Scoop, but he's still behind enough. And you've got Coco going for double slow on that Blaze. It's not going to end off very well if there's anything that was going to really hurt the blue team. A double slow Blaze, definitely the trick here. If anybody who walks on the blue team into that Blaze happens to be surrounded by any other member of the red team, they will die. They will not be able to move. The fish hates Blaze. So does the Frog, and especially when it's double slow.
Yep, and that's why we're seeing that Blaze come out. So not only will the Chuck's board do max damage, but with 42% slow by the end of it all, I mean, you're basically going to be running on the spot if you're not stunned out by the Frog, if you're not stunned out by Whoopi. And so it's a very potent combo. It's a very controlling combo, and it's a combo that is almost guaranteed at this point to keep solidifying these kills and take this game. Boom needs to play out of the comfort zone. They got to do something crazy, like he keeps saying. Get out of that safety margin. You're not ahead. The only way to change things the way they are going is to take control of that hype train and steer it in a different direction.
At the moment, Nikki taking a bit of damage from the burst, but out he goes.
Hammer.
The Snipe Hammer being very real, killing off Kaio. That's now going to be 6-1. The invisibility going the way of 99 Cents' Toilet Humor. You now have 3 droids destroying this top area. Out comes the hammer, and boom! Lightning Ball going to take out Blah. Now it's just this one little scoop in the way of the entire 99 Cent team machine. They can do a lot of damage here to Paolo if Paolo's not careful. That double slow now getting another upgrade for the Coco. We've got Bag Full of Goldfish now coming out on the Vinny, and now we got Boombox coming out on Nikki's NATO. So lots of damage, lots of poking, everybody playing very safe. Nikki managing to dodge that damage with the dash in the nick of time.
Man.
The reflexes are very real, and that looked like that was a very well played dash. That's one of the things that Frog has. If he uses his dash for multiple things at once, that value definitely worth your time. In that case, using it to get out and using it to not take damage, that's always good. 2-for-1 use of dash is always awesome.
Anything 2-for-1. I mean, we talk about some of the better synergies and some of these better items, but Ted comes to mind. You know, people go for the machine gun damage. It's a 2-for-1 for the shotgun damage. You know, double blaze. It's a great 2-for-1 on one ability right there. The double slow bowl coming out on Lone Star is just like you can do some really fun things with slowing mechanics or 2-for-1s. And Toilet Humor, he's very great for that very, very slow team. Look at these guys just crawling around. He will make an escape. Whoopi is going to pick up a 500 under that and even dodge out the incoming snipe hammer. And despite best efforts, Boom is still struggling to put another kill on the board.
Yeah, they're still sitting at 1. That 1 belonging to Blah, and it's going to end up in that death belonging to Nikki. But Nikki's still playing very safe. By contrast, he's playing defensively. He's not going for super aggressive dashes or anything into this team. Honestly, this game is just slowly stalling out on 99 Cents' fault. Boom is doing a good job of just keeping and holding their ground. They're Scoop now going for ending bindings damage rather than anything else. Whoopi currently sitting on 300 or so solar, though, so he could easily go for the same. You've got the double slow coming out of Coco, like I mentioned before. It's almost fully upgraded. She's opted to go for the particles, though. A little bit more push coming out there for the red team. The blue team, nothing else really new happening. The damage on Blah, not yet maxed out. Still needs that Hydro Smash, something that Nikki has had for some time. The 500 difference in solar being very obvious between the two frogs.
Is it actually 500? Yeah, it's pretty much blanket 500, 500, and 200 between them. So we're looking at about 1,200 solar between the teams. And, you know, it's double tower solar. It's the farming numbers, 105 creeps to Nikki, who's about to get collapsed on, but again, has that dash ready to go. Is very, very smart about using it. Doesn't use it to initiate unless he has a team back in his corner. He's now going to throw it out. Gets the stun on top of Paolo. That will be enough for a 580 ball to take home the kill on the Ice Cream Knight. And once again, another kill for 99 Cent. 8-1. Very likely could be a tower because we have no spam hammers to stop him.
And in this case, do not expect 99 Cents to really push super hard. It is by no means a team wipe where they will risk life and limb to take out a turret over the couple seconds that they have that advantage. Instead, they will have Whoopi sit in the back, be ready to do that counter hammer if at all possible. In this case, Toilet Humor actually ending up going down to that turret. Wow. So they might have overstayed their welcome. 8-2. Boom still showing signs of life. Another rank in bindings and damage. However, Toilet Humor picking up the last of the slow upgrades and the last of the ball damage upgrades. The only thing missing off of her lightning ball damage is a Heavenly Blaze to add the Chuck's board to it.
Triple pills coming out for Red Scoop. So Whoopi's saying, yep, we're done. This is my hit point pool, and you shall tremble before it.
And it is a very big hit point pool indeed.
That's why you shall tremble before it.
Indeed. He also has access to the Spoon Man upgrade. So long as he's near his friends, his hammer does more damage. And so do his bindings. When he eventually gets those upgrades on bindings, that might be terrifying. For now, Whoopi taking a bunch of damage. So does Nikki. What? Nikki goes down. Whoopi being chased down by Blah. He's going to end up getting out of there just fine. Toilet Humor putting out the blaze to save his teammate. That's a 1-for-0 pickoff. Boom, showing signs of life now at the 21, almost 22-minute mark in this game.
20 minutes came around. They got themselves 2 kills. That's some incredible patience.
Well, that's something that, honestly, 99 Cents has not done either. I mean, granted, they lost in this first game in this best of 3, but whenever they've gotten a lead, they haven't really lost it. And this is the first time I've seen them kind of start to let their grip slip a tiny little bit. So really good collapse coming out of the blue team. Now, Toilet Humor quite low. He's going to end up hitting Paolo with that. Now, Paolo very, very low and on the wrong end of town. Nicky going to end up picking him off with a well-placed dash. Gaio and Blah going to have to head on home. And that's going to be a 9-3 advantage now. They have wrested control of the game back. They might have loosened their grip for a second and then realized that that was a bad idea. So now they've got it back firmly in hand. A couple of upgrades coming out. Blah picking up the boombox and the Hydro Smash. He now has maxed out dash damage and does almost the same amount of damage as Nicky, but Nicky has 2 ranks of pills to go with it. You also have the AoE on the dash for Vinny and Spike. So Vinny and Spike aiming to hit more people with that 700 damage dash. We'll see if it ends up being enough.
Tower damage is still mounting 2 bars between 99cent and Core. If these fights keep going on, you know, they trade out 2 for 2, 2 for 2, and all that, sure, all right, we could see this continuing on. But if Nicky doesn't go down here, if he baits these guys into a team wipe, we can almost declare a winner basically on the spot at this point. The 99cent advantage has pushed them really far to the edge of the map here as they're still working on these tower ranges. But again, towers are starting to actually look worse for wear. And at this point, any kind of big team fight going the way of 99cent, and that's going to be some irrecoverable damage from Boom.
Absolutely. Boom struggling to maintain whatever standing they can in this game. But we're starting to see a little hints of aggression here and there. Kaio going in for dashes and then tossing out Silence Clouds to protect himself. And he now has the size on that too. So he's aiming to try to initiate these kinds of fights. Nicky invisible, not going to end up doing anything, not quite yet. Still looking for a perfect opportunity to go in. And instead going to end up just pushing the lanes forward a tiny bit. So right now things looking extremely good for Team 99cents. Boom, very much behind. They have to defend constantly against onslaughts and waves of droids. Down goes this bottom turret. Out comes the Silence Cloud. We got bindings. Nicky not being hit by them. Kaio being taken out by Nicky. Nicky quite low. We got 3 men dead out of the blue team. That's going to be a 3-man wipe. Whoopi picking up a double kill there and a killing spree. That will be at the end of this best-of-3 matchup. 99cents taking it in a commanding final team fight in what was a slow, patient, methodical, strategic, and overall commanding victory in this Game 3. A far cry from the loss that they suffered in the first game against Boom.
Congratulations, guys. 99cents is your Alienware Awesome Cup champions.
Now that it feels nice to say, because this has been a month in the pipeline. This has been taking a long time for this fight to come out the way that it has. And 99cent definitely fought hard for it. They were obviously a top contender, one of the crowd favorites to win this.
The crowd favorite.
And there you go, crowd. You have managed to choose wisely.
Congratulations, Reddit. You were once for right.
For what? Anyhow.
A long day. You were right for once.
What?
Casters. Using words.
Anyway, they managed to beat your championship. Second place going to Boom. The Cinderella story that just fell short of earning its Prince Charming. However, they still go home with $900 cash. That's a lot. Followed up closely by Boss. So
third place.
Third place going to Boss. Fourth place onward. Picking up a lot of picking up some different kinds of prizes. But fourth place going to Ion. And then everything from 5th to 8th place. Ape, Lag, All-Stars, and Gallo. Everybody played an excellent batch of games over these past couple of days in this Alienware Awesome Cup Championship weekend. But your victors, clearly, 99cents, taking in a very commanding game 2 and 3.
Indeed.
That was a very intense series. Boom, obviously, coming very close to tasting what would have been like, but not quite. 99cents proving why they were at the top in the first place.
They perhaps did have a little bit of taste with that first game, but man, they were on a roll. Their momentum took them really far, and it could have been very easily just, shaking off the rust. 99cents, to me, we told them to be awake at 3. We didn't get to the games until close to 6. So perhaps, they just weren't warmed up. They're a little bit cold, but, crack the knuckles, get the neck going, and the blood flowing, and They came back, very dominant games. I have no idea why we went back to Aguilar, but that will be a question for the ages. Perhaps we will get an interview a little bit later on paper with 99cents and Boom, because again, Boom, the hardest working team, got all the way to the finals, 4 qualifiers, lost in winners, went all the way through losers, back-to-back victories. They had a lot of momentum, but they will ultimately end up second place.
Just collapsing, but that's fine. Everybody who's performed in these top 8 championship weekend
fastest
games,
game was 14 minutes. None of these were stomps.
None of these were a singular stomp. They had commanding victories, slow victories where, yes, it was definitely a win for them, but by no means was any of them just 4 minutes done. You didn't have those moments. Like qualifiers, you did have those moments. Teams like these would just find brand new teams and show them why they're the top dogs. But in this case, every team equally matched. Even 99cents was made to bleed by the end of it. Boom. Taking them out in that first game.
The only game they lost was against Boom.
Game they lost was against Boom. And it was the only time that 99cents did something other than sit back and play very, very, very safe.
Dude. All right, so, first place, Alienware Alphas. $600, 15 copies of Osnauts, 3 bundles going to 99cents.
You're
on
missing
top of
something.
on top of that, first place icons, they are now going to be awarded with the Alienware icons in-game. You find them on ladder, you find them in-game, you hit tab, you look at the leaderboards, they are going to be spouting these brand new icons very likely this week. Ronimo's usually very good with implementation, but of course, there might be a hotfix, might be a patch. Either way, these guys are going to be sporting the only 3 in-game to commemorate their victory.
And that means if you find them, you best pray to hold on to your butts. At that point, that's going to be a rough game for you.
And if you beat them, enter the next tournament.
Yes, we definitely tell you enter the next tournament at that point because you have promised. But there you have it. They win that. Second place goes home with money, knots, and skin bundles. Third place, more of the same.
Yep. Fourth to 8th go home with some games in their pockets, skins. All 512 teams take home Teddy Bear Ayla. And I think we actually gave away a whole bunch of Teddy Bear Ayla in the chat. I know that the skin vault that we received is looking a little bare right now.
A little bit more bare than it was, but all things considered right now, this tournament that we've spent months preparing for. That
all the way back to October.
Yeah, all the way back to October, that we've spent now weeks dealing with. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days where we've casted at least 9-hour days.
So we're about to hit the 10 mark here.
Yeah, no, I don't know about you, Forecourt, but right now I'm sitting on this going, wow, what a ride. What a crazy amount of talent.
Yeah.
What an amazing amount of gaming going on, and the love and passion for this game for all these teams coming out and repeatedly trying to crown themselves the victors. And although 99cents ended up being the team to do that,
indeed,
I am flabbergasted.
I am
near speechless.
Old teams come out, basically out of retirement. We saw new teams come in, showing their stuff. Boom is forever going to be a name that we know. We will forever know Kaio, Paulo, and blah, because they got themselves second place in the biggest tournament in the history of this game. The outpour has been phenomenal. The community has been phenomenal. Reddit and Twitter and chat all saying, more tournaments. We want more of this. Perhaps this will be a good injection into the scene. We will have to, of course, measure the metrics, see if we satisfied all the numbers and all that. But big thanks have to go to a few different people for their efforts into this big collaborative union. Everything here sponsored by Alienware. They, of course, donated the Alphas. They all, brought out their name. They helped us out with a lot of social media, so big thanks to them. Of course, Ronimo Games as well, sponsoring the cash, the prizes, and the skins for everyone. That was phenomenal out of them. And of course, they made the game. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even be here. So
I honestly love every single one of you at
deserve
Ronimo
a
Games.
Special thank you, of course.
One big Canadian hug over here. If you ever come visit, my place is yours.
Back at PAX, I got to meet Kuhn.
Oh, really?
Yep, back at PAX. And I know
great.
Ollie, he's been watching the streams out there as well. Robin deserves a big thank you out there as well. Congratulations, guys. It was a phenomenal tournament, and we couldn't have done it without you. Production all day, all 6 days. Those guys, you can't see them off camera, but they're off to our side. ES Champ Productions. We're based out here local in Toronto, and who knows, maybe more Astronauts in the future. We do a whole bunch of other games. The big fist bump coming in from the side of War Champ right there. War Champ Champ 7. Master Duck was our big admin here, doing a lot of mitigation there, and of course our producer Draconis, or Drekin. You can find him out there on Twitter. We've been all talking in the hashtag Awesome Cup. Hopefully you guys participated, won yourself some skins. Everything as well. The brackets coming down to it. The software that we use to track all this, Gosu Games, and they've set up the Awesome Cup website. They've done a phenomenal job with the bracket software, and so, hopefully we'll see more of them in the future as well.
Yeah, and honestly, this tournament couldn't have come together without my co-caster here, Forecourt Jester, obviously providing a lot of professionalism, expertise, and mentorship. It was a joy to cast with you, sir.
It's been forever since we casted.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, and
Absolutely.
it is an absolute joy every time I do it.
And this is how we met. You came out to Qualifier 1. We hadn't, we've done the drop pod, we did the APLs, but we never met in person. And again, big thank you to everyone involved to make
We
this
exist.
happen.
We exist in the same room right now.
No, this is a green screen. This is a holographic.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, there's no way that this is. Yeah,
Nope.
that
was
did not
just really
happen.
well coordinated.
No way. Nuh-uh.
But Slow Wolf, of course, you came out here. You were a little bit of a late addition to the crew, but we said we need a guy that knows what he's talking about, and he's local. Look at that. You're just down the road, well, more or less. And thank you so much for your efforts coming out here, sir. Where can people find you if they'd like to hear more?
You guys can find me on Twitter at SlowWolf. That was easy enough.
Yeah.
YouTube, I am going to be putting a little bit more content on it now that I'm not busy
Awesome.
doing a lot of this stuff.
Great.
You'll find me there at user slow. You got SlowWolf Game being the thing there. SlowWolf Gaming, sorry. And you can also find me at my email, slowwolfgame@gmail.com, and you can find me on Facebook as well. But you can find me everywhere. SlowWolf being the kind of the core. On YouTube, Twitch, and everything.
If you guys don't follow his Twitter, I don't know where you've been, because he does the beard adventures on the Instagram. A few of them out there on YouTube. You want to see this guy? This guy can grow a beard like nobody else. You like beards?
Big.
Hit him up. Hit him up.
Now, how about you, Forecourt? Obviously,
Nobody wants to listen to me.
that's a lie. You
Everybody
tell
came out here for you.
Oh, that's a bald-faced
All right.
lie, and you're not a bald-faced person. You tell them where you come from, because people want to see you, sir.
Yeah, me and